I'm so nervous to open this. Hello and welcome back to my channel. It has been such a long time since I last filmed a video, so I feel like we're well overdue a catch up, which is exactly what we're going to do today. Also, yesterday was my first year results day, so I filmed my reaction to my results, and I thought I would also put that in the end of the video because quite a lot of what I'm going to talk about is about like university and why I haven't been kind of keeping you up to date with it. When we last left off, I had just trained to become a vaccinator and I'd done my first shift. However, as I picked up more and more vaccinating shifts, I was running out of time in the day to film and edit videos as well as keeping up with all of my university work. Vaccinating shifts are about 6 hours long, which doesn't sound too bad, but I was doing about 3 or 4 of these a week on top of university, and it's quite draining being a vaccinator. I found when I came home from these shifts I would often have really bad headaches, which I'd never really experienced before, which I think was due to obviously wearing masks all day and also just concentrating for so long on making sure that I was obviously giving the vaccine right, because obviously it's so important I get it right. I continued to vaccinate between reading week and then the end of Lent term, and coincidentally the end of Lent term kind of coincided with when school holidays were, which meant that I was back at the boarding school that I often work at in the holidays with the international students who couldn't go home, looking after them. In the Easter holidays, it's just before the exam period at LSE, and it tends to be when a lot of your coursework falls. So I think I had 2 or maybe even 3 deadlines during that period, which I was trying to work towards, as well as obviously holding up this full-time job. However, whilst I was working at the boarding school during the holidays, I heard from a contact that there was a job that was coming up very last minute at another boarding school in Cheltenham. It was a temporary position to fill in for somebody who wasn't able to come back after the Easter holidays. And despite the fact I had loads of uni work going on, I had exams coming up, I decided it'd be a great idea to apply for this job. So I heard about this job the penultimate day of working at the other school in Essex, and I applied for it that day, and then 2 days later I had my interview on the Monday, and then on the Wednesday I think I heard about the job, and the following Friday I started. So I literally packed up my whole life, moved to the other side of the country because I live in Essex and this job was in Cheltenham. I moved to the other side of the country and started. Not to mention, in that week and a half between finding out I got the job and moving to Cheltenham, I had a 3,500 word project due for my Introduction to Research Methods module, and when I moved on the Thursday I started my 4-day long exam for sustainable development, and then moved on the Friday of that week. So honestly, it was just the craziest time. Hopefully this is going some way to explaining why there were no YouTube videos, because as much as I would have loved to have vlogged my exam season, and I did think about doing it, I was working at school, which means that things are a bit tricky anyway. I was working a ridiculous amount of hours a week because I live in at the boarding school, which means you have quite a lot to do and you're kind of on call all the time, even if you're not like technically working. Also, the main reason I decided not to film my exams was because it would be really quite boring for you just to sit watching me type on my laptop, which is what most of my exams involved, because I'm not 100% sure on how much I'm actually allowed to tell you about the exams themselves. So anyway, I decided not to film the exams, which was maybe a bad idea because I feel like I can't accurately convey how difficult exam season was whilst working a full-time job. I would literally go from like 7 AM waking up some children, working through to 8:30, getting them breakfast, getting them sent off to school, and then I would go to my laptop, do like an hour of a geography exam, go off, help with some swimming, go to another duty, give some children some food at break time, come back, do another hour, then go off and listen to some readers, and then, oh, it just went on. Like, this was my day every single day during exam season. It was so busy, but I literally would not have had it any other way. It was such a rewarding job. I learned so much and gained so much experience from that job, because some of the things I was being asked to do, like umpiring cricket matches or invigilating exams, were things I've never done before. Once exam season was done, university actually got in touch and said we are going to have our first year field trip, which is very exciting. It was meant to be in October last year, but they moved it to the end of the year. So I actually filmed the whole thing. It was a few weeks ago now actually, and I've just about got around to editing it, so the video for that will be up next week, so do keep your eyes peeled for that. Fast forward another 5 weeks of boarding school work and we are up to speed with where we are now. So I finished term on Friday last week and came back home on Saturday. The last few days I've just spent doing a bit of editing, seeing friends, and it has been lovely. However, tomorrow the next big adventure begins. Myself and my friend Sophie, who I think you'll know because she's been in a few other videos, are actually heading off on a road trip around the UK. We're going to be gone for 18 days. We're going all the way up from Essex all the way up to Scotland. through various parts of England, and then we're coming back down into Wales, going all the way around Wales, and then coming back home again. Obviously, I am planning to film the road trip. However, I'm not taking my laptop with me, so I won't be able to edit on the go, so the videos from that won't be up for another 3 or so weeks. However, if you do want to keep up to speed on what I'm up to and where we are in the UK, then be sure to follow me over on my Instagram, which I'll put on the screen somewhere now. I feel like that was a whistle-stop tour of the last 3 months of my life, but thank you so much for bearing with me, because I feel like I did kind of disappear off the face of the earth in terms of my social media. Anyway, let's jump into the second half of this video, which is my results. So a quick explanation of how the grading system works at LSE. So my first year does actually count, which is quite unusual for first years in the UK. It is 1/9 of my overall grade for my whole university experience. So basically they take the top 3 modules out of 4 from your first year grades, and then they average them out to give you 1 overall grade for first year, and that counts for 1 module out of the 9 that they take from your whole university, like your whole time at university. So this year's, my top 3 modules from this year count for 1 module, and then next year I'll do 4 modules and each one of those will count for a module, and then the year after that I'll do 4 modules and each one of those will count, and that will give me 9 grades overall, and then they'll average those out, or I don't know how they work it out, but they use those 9 grades to basically come up with your overall grade for university. I know I have quite a few international viewers on here who might not necessarily understand the UK grading system as well, so when I'm talking about a first, I mean I've got 70+%, 2-1 is 60+%, 2-2 is 50+%, and a third is 40+%, and if you get less than 40%, then you've actually failed the module. That being said, let's jump to yesterday when I actually opened up my results.
Hello, so it's Thursday the 8th of July and today is provisional results day for first year for LSE. It's currently 3:45. LSE have taken forever to send out results today, but that's not surprising because every other result that I've had this year has been delayed. I've already had 2 results, so one of my modules, I got a 65 and a 75, so that's averaged out at 70, which means I'm hoping for first, but I don't think I'm going to get first. Results are taking forever to come through. They're sending them out like a few at a time, I think, because mine haven't come through, but some of my friends have had theirs and they've done so well, so I'm really, really pleased for them. I'm just sat here refreshing my emails, waiting for something. Okay, my results have just come in. I'm so nervous to open this. Okay, what does it say? I got 3 firsts. Sorry, my grandma's here. I got 3 firsts and a 2-1. I'm so happy with that. Oh, that has honestly made my day.
Because the results came in quite late yesterday, I was actually heading out anyway, so I didn't get a chance to run you through the grades, so I thought I would do that today with my laptop, which I've got here. In my first module, which was GY100, which is Introduction to Geography, I got a 64. Anything that's a 2-1 or above, I honestly was quite happy with. I have been doing better in my formative assignments, so they're the ones that don't really count. Well, they don't count at all. But this exam was 1 week, like it was 1 week-long exam with 3 essays in it. The whole module was based on that one exam. So that was quite intense. So I'm actually quite happy with the 64. Then in GY121, which is Sustainable Development, which is definitely the module that I found hardest this year, I actually got a 70 overall, which I'm really shocked about. So last term, I did an essay and I got 69 in that, and I was like really quite happy with that. And I really disliked the content from this term. I found it really difficult, and I was honestly just hoping for anything over a 50 because that would have averaged out as a 2-1. But I ended up getting a 70 in my exam, so I'm not sure if the right paper has been marked there because I do not think I deserve that grade. But oh well, I'm quite happy, I'll take it. Then the next one I took was Introduction to Geographical Research, and this was just 2 pieces of coursework. I think I spoke about this in the clip yesterday, but I got a 65 and a 75 in my 2 projects that I had to do, so I already knew about that grade. And then in my German, in my coursework, I got a 79. So I did 10 bits of coursework over the course of the year and they averaged out to a 79. So I already knew about that grade as well. And I'm obviously really happy with that. That's like a really high first. And then in my oral exam, I actually got a 70, which I'm really pleased about because I didn't think my oral went very well. I was asked about like German politics, which was really quite difficult. And I just didn't think I'd done very well. So in the end, my German averaged out to a 75. So my top 3 marks that are going to count are a 70, a 70 and a 75, which averages out at a 72, and that is my grade for first year, which is just, honestly, I'm so happy with that. I suppose that's everything for today. Thank you so much for bearing with me, and I will see you very, very soon with a new video. Bye!